It works. I don't know. It's going live. You are live. I get hit in the fucking face. All right. So Fall Shepherd here. Shit, a lot to talk about actually. So there's gonna be a lot about talk about. I don't know if you're gonna call them a. What do you call that shit? The debates. I didn't watch them. I don't know. Did you watch them, Hernandez?
I did not, but I did see a bunch of memes. How pointless.
Yeah, it was a pretty pointless thing. I don't. Okay, so let's just beat that dead horse dead. So I guess there's something about race in there, right? That he didn't condemn like this group called the Good Old Boys or Boys Gone Wild or Boy or some shit like that, right?
Yeah. I forget what they're called, but that was with Alec McGuinness.
Okay, who the fuck is that?
It's a political speaker, kind of like Ben.
All right. Yeah. Huh?
He's into American politics for some reason.
Oh yeah. I'm. Oh, got it. Yeah, I'm not a fan of any of that shit, dude. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I guess this Trump wouldn't denounce this group or whatever. I'm assuming they're a religious group because he doesn't want to hurt his vote in his freaking base, correct?
It's actually, I don't know what happened, but there was a group. Basically, it kind of became everybody started saying they were racist. I'm not sure how true that is, but it did get kind of out of hand, the shit that they were doing.
Yeah.
Saying. And then one of that guy, Alec, ended up leaving just because of the hell was. Yeah,
I don't know. Okay, so I know everybody's all worried about race and shit. And honestly, man, I'm so fucking sick of it. And I just don't understand. I know it's a huge issue for a lot of people, and I would wish people would move on from the whole race thing because honestly, this is why aliens, like I said before, don't visit us because it's such a freaking. I'm done with the subject, but I don't know why people were freaking out about white people, man. They can't even go out in the sun without freaking putting sunscreen on, or they always have their eczema. What that skin condition they always have? What's it called again? You know, Hernandez? Eczema? Yeah, eczema. Yeah, eczema. Yeah, their eczema flares up. So I don't know. Yeah, honestly, man, I give it about another generation before white people start to take the seat back. They're already taking the seat back. Educationally, if you really think about it, man, you know, with all the dumb majors they get, and you know, the science is hurting for freaking anybody, and it's usually a lot of foreign kids that get the science degrees, you know. So that's my biggest beef with white folks these days is that they're not really into the sciences as they used to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel you. I also think that kind of goes into play though with just kind of all the social problems that are popping up. It's like all the a lot of the left wing back in college are letting in people of color, saying things like white people need not to apply, etc. So I think
that makes sense. You there, buddy? I lost him.
Yes.
God, I fucking hate Windows. So my producer has me on Windows because my other computer broke. And I really fucking hate Microsoft. I've always hated Microsoft when I was a young kid. It was all about Unix and FreeBSD, Solaris. I wasn't much of a Linux guy. And back then it was just Red Hat Linux. But I don't know, man. I'm not a Windows guy. So this podcast may be kind of fucked up. Don't blame me. Blame Bill Gates. So we're going back to the topic of just what was said. So it's election season. It's just really asinine to see these two people go at it. And JoJo wasn't invited. You know, there's also a third party, and no one ever votes third party. And you know, I hear that shit. One of my favorite memes I'm seeing right now. It's not about Biden. It's about freedom. It's about the Supreme Court. It's about all this stuff, and people are actually forgetting and overlooking the 47 years he's been in office, and he hasn't done shit really. Well, anything really positive. He's done a lot. You know, he's done the freaking Patriot Act. You know, he's done a bunch of stuff, in a negative way. Patriot Act, the Illegal Immigration Act, he helped that thing out. He also did the crime bill in the 90s. And I remember he was, when it was okay for him to be openly racist because he was falling back on states' rights when they were segregating people in school back in the day. So I don't know, man. I just can't get over the Biden thing. I have no idea how anybody can vote for that guy. You know what I mean, dude? What are your thoughts on it?
Well, I do think that political just trying to highly rely on race just to get the votes. Actually, want to paint Team Blue be more of the freedom fighters and all for race and stuff like that because, well, I don't want to one, but I guess a very popular thing that President Obama, the closest thing to a black man in office, was everybody was black, no matter what was, no matter what he was to enforce or to say, which is it's kind of a gray area, but I know that that's very popular. That was like the biggest for Team Blue was black men. Now everybody's hinging onto that one thing. So, for instance, Biden, I think he's a rapper. He went on his podcast and basically said, all you black folks need to vote for, paraphrasing, he said, all you black folks need to vote for. The number one quote he got, one quote he said was, if you're black and you don't vote for me, then you ain't black. That kind of pissed off a lot of people, but it wasn't enough to, the black vote. He's very, I mean, I don't really know too much about him other than kind of creepy. But I know that the biggest thing right now, though, is getting the black vote. So you're seeing, no matter what race, if you have the black vote, it means you're doing something progressive. It means that you're the good guys. So every other race has no choice but to lean into you, because then you can flip the of, oh, you're not voting for us because black folk, then you're racist. You don't like black. You want to keep them in the gutter, kind of.
Yeah,
that's a very bad way.
Yeah, you get that race trader bullshit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you don't vote for, if you don't vote blue or something like that, you're a race trader. Or I don't know, man. It's really foolish that. God, I fucking hate race, man. I think the biggest joke that God ever did was make us different colors. Because it's just so fucking annoying, and I just can't believe it, man. Like, it's gonna go down to race yet again. It's a race card, Not to mention, Mrs. Harris is basically a fucking cop, and the left is supposed to denounce all this police activity and how the police are managing, its citizens in this country right now, and they're completely overlooking at that because Trump's an idiot. It really sucks, man, that it's gone to this where you have two people, obviously, that everybody's so fucking lukewarm for. When you see memes about somebody saying it's not about your candidate, it's about everything else in it. You just want to get somebody in to avoid the steady this indoctrination of conservative thoughts in America. So it's like he's right. It's the soul of this country, and it's just so fucking annoying. It's being ran by two fucking village idiots. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I don't anybody's keen on voting either. But there's a lot of people who want to, not have one of them office for X, Y, and Z purpose. But again, I guess that goes back to the media heartstrings, or even kind of making one or the other look foolish, whether things are out of context, whether Biden does it for children. I don't know. There's a lot of creepy ass photos and posts of him, and vice versa with President Trump. Dumb looking, stupid. Like, I don't think either of them, like you said, everybody just being lukewarm about them. I don't think either party has a bunch of people that are too keen on having either candidate in.
Yeah, I don't know. I saw the memes and everything. I have not watched one even video of the goddamn fucking debates, because from what I heard, it was just a bunch of kids showing their asses. You know what I mean? And I just I don't know, man. I don't know why we have gone to this level. We have stooped this low, and this is where we're at as an America, as a country. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm not too fucking, Donald Trump make an ass out of, senile fucking 80-year-old man. I think that's another thing too. I think stop putting very fucking old people into the office and start to allow younger individuals playing field. I don't know a whole lot of very young individuals who are into politics as much nowadays, just because how stupid they've gotten. People are trying to reach children. Things just aren't exactly working as well as without them. There's a whole lot of entertainment where you start to put in race politics, gender politics, identity politics to your media, making everybody get turned off from watching certain series. Or
Yeah.
I also think that I don't know, it's just kind of backfiring, and now anything in college about politics. Oh, I don't like you, fucking whatever. That's a race identity politics, or that's racist. Is that everyone's always talking about politics. Here we go. You walk in, some President Trump's or Bernie, or just stupid shit, and it's just you can't really escape it anymore. Be here, fucking shows is anything.
Yeah.
It's everywhere.
Yeah, it is everywhere. Yeah. I remember who said it, man. If you don't turn into politics will turn on you. That was actually on a Rage Against the Machine freaking music video. But I remember politicians saying that, and he's right. It just, you have to unfortunately get involved with it, and the divide is just, it's amazing, man. Where, the other thing people are pissed off about are the taxes that he didn't pay. I guess he paid $750 in taxes, right? People are losing their shit over that, man. I'm like, okay, did he break the law? Did he do anything illegal? And the answer is no, he didn't. And, it goes back to okay, cool. So how can I do the same thing? Because I don't believe in taxes at all. You think about, to me, it's really tyrannic in how the money's spent. And if you don't pay taxes, you go to jail. That makes no... And, I hear the argument, what about hospitals and schools and all that? Well, the public education system's shitty as fuck. And it's not because of the teachers. Teachers out there actually care. A lot of them do. And they put extra time and their own money to educate, our youth. To me, it's the curriculum. It's just the way a school's set up. It's the way education's set up. It's a very tyrannic, very analog environment, which some kids, you think about how kids are and all this energy they have, they're doomed to fucking fail no matter what. You know what I mean? How do you tell a kid that has all this energy, hey, stay still in this seat, I'm picking the seats for you, don't move, watch what I'm doing, and regurgitate what I'm telling you? That's ignorant.
I also think that's kind of hard. A standard for every child in the 50 plus states of foreign American. That's the standard. You know what I mean? That's hard to be able to teach something that me, you, and the next person can all have to digest X amount of time period in order for you to pass said group. Or you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's checking a box.
That's hard too. I wouldn't know how to fix that necessarily. If you like to jump your ass around, but I take really good Cornell notes, but I suck ass at test taking. But how the fuck do you accommodate every child a lot of them you just fucking give up on. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, when I was in high school, there was a group of kids who didn't give a shit anything or any class, any subject, nothing. Even like the cool subjects like art, where how the fuck you fail art? Just don't turn the
Don't
shit
do
in,
shit.
So like it was just kind of weird that that a lot of these kids like that, there's just nothing. They'd rather just, you know, wait till school's over, go out, party, smoke, whatever. And a lot of especially where I was, there was a lot of drugs. Like I just don't know how you get to like that. There are just a lot of different groups don't want to do with school whatsoever or
Yeah.
learning. They just don't care. It's kind of hard to show them that life is different once the age of 18 or, you know,
Yeah.
past.
So who's responsible? Who's responsible to show them that? See, this goes
Well,
into
their
my.
parents, obviously.
There you go. But to me,
They're
it's
already in.
yeah. As a father of 3 beautiful girls, it's imperative that I play a very big role in their education, because the education, just because they're going to school doesn't mean they're going to be educated. You know, a lot of the stuff I've learned on my own was on my own, reading on my own, and having the thirst for knowledge. And I think that's one of the problems that you have with our society today. Everybody wants everything to change. You know, the system, they want cops to change. They want, you know, the school system to change. And honestly, they have to change themselves too as well. You know, it's not a one-way street. You know what I mean? Especially when it comes to police reform, you got to teach your kids, and you got to teach how people how to deal with police officers, and how to freaking conduct themselves in a good manner, where they're not being, you know, fucked with cops. And you also got to teach them how to keep quiet when they're asked questions by police officers, so they don't incriminate themselves, even if they're doing wrong. You know what I mean? They have a right to be, you know, be tried by their peers. So I think, you know, that's another thing that comes with parents. You got to teach your children how to deal with police officers. You know, you got to teach your children how to have a thirst for knowledge. You know, when they get home, I understand the many useless hours of doing homework and trying to, you know, accomplish a degree, or doing homework after school, and, you know, the K1 to the K12. You know, to me, it's fucking annoying, and it's just a waste of fucking time, to be honest, because you're just regurgitating things. You're not really learning anything, you know, per se. You know, it depends on the subject, and it also depends on the instructor. So, you know, that's my beef with it. You know, people need to be more involved in their lives, and not expect government to protect them. Like this whole, one of my favorite things, people were talking about this COVID thing on the debates. And I guess there was a time where Biden was saying 200,000 Americans died from this already. I'm like, okay, cool. It sucks. But 200,000 compared to what, 300 million Americans? That's not even H1N1 killed 500,000 people in 2009, and Obama didn't close anything. Didn't do anything about it, honestly. So you're going to criticize the federal government, especially Trump, because it's obviously Republican, and it's good politics, honestly, on the half of the left. It's very good politics, because they're kind of switching the card around and blaming somebody else for it. And they're blaming Trump and the government. And it goes back to my theory that even if this was a huge pandemic where it was killing 1/3 of the population, you are honestly going to wait for government to tell you what to do, and for government to take care of you. That's just fucking ignorant. You know what I mean, dude? That's just so fucking ignorant.
Before we cross that bridge, let's just touch up the whole, you know, teaching and policing. I think a big thing with that too is it goes down like what if you're like my parents? You don't know shit about shit. You know, you just kind of make shit up or that you're correct. Like for instance, when I was a kid, my parents would say something, assumed like that was law. Like, oh, they know. My parents, of course they know. But as I grew up, I realized that my father and mother were fucking stupid. They didn't know again shit about shit. So I grew up having my own. But that's not to say like they weren't ready. Like I think my mom had me like 20, 21, or my mom's fairly young. My father's a little older, but nonetheless, it was just like, who do I learn from? Who do I listen to? Who do I believe? My own parents don't even know their left from their right, or they tell me that this is your right, your left, but in reality, they're wrong.
Yeah.
That's not it at all.
Yeah, I
So
see
I
it.
had to learn that, and when I had to bump heads with my father a lot growing up because he didn't know, and it was just like, yo, I learned this. I kind of know a little bit more than you do. Like it just kind of sucks to know that a lot of people lean or have trust in something, and you're right. Shouldn't ever lean or rely on the government. Schools, things like that. A lot of that shit you kind of have to learn on your own,
Yeah.
or with each other, or through experience. It's I don't know. It's just not black and white as much as television, whatever the fuck.
Oh, I love black and white. I love black and white. That's my favorite thing. I try to make everything black and white. So I see what you're saying. So unfortunately, some people are not blessed with, my parents were very hands off. They worked a lot, and honestly, everything was just me always curious and why this worked and why did this do this. So I would read upon it and try to learn why it did it, what it did. But I get what you're saying. For me, it was just self-education. My old man, I hate running into people and they're telling me, oh my God, your dad's so smart. He's told me so many things. And it's like, yeah, but he never shared any of that knowledge or shared anything with me. My father never fucking was like, oh, hey, come over here. This is why this works. When we were kids, we were told to stay away from the guy. So we stood away, you know what I mean? So I get what you're saying, but a lot of when computer science was cool and I really liked it, I learned it on my own and I fed off my friends and they helped me learn a lot of the just about it and just a lot of like different operating systems, programming, networking, all that shit, dude. So I get what you're saying, having dumb parents. I'm not calling your parents dumb, but I am. But yeah, it sucks, but yet again, I'm a big it's in the individual, man. I really don't, because I feel like when you start relying, you can rely on people, man, but when you rely on an entity like the government and you rely on schools to educate you and stuff like that, you're really giving a lot of your freedom away. You're getting a lot of your sovereignty away to just this horrible entity that makes things worse. It always has. You ask Native Americans, ask the Chinese, during the freaking gold rush, you ask the Mexican American. Yeah, the government just has a way just to make things a lot fucking worse. A lot worse. So that's why I'm always gonna say, nah, man, you gotta figure things on your own. It sucks when you're alone and you gotta figure these things out. But in the same note, if you can find people and individuals that are kind of on the same warpath as you guys can share and feed off each other. You know what I mean, dude?
Yeah, definitely. To learn from your peers or learn from each other's experience. So than anything else.
Yeah, it's a shit show, man. Everything right now is just a fucking shit show. I just can't, the education thing is just that's just been broken forever for years. You know what I mean? I don't even know. I don't think there's a very good solution and a simple one to fix it. It's going to require a lot of out of the box thinking and a lot of people working together to try to solve that problem. It's just the same with the prison system. It goes back to one of the episodes we had. Defunding the police is not your answer. Your answer is both society and the police force need to change, because honestly, it's tyrannic, dude. If you don't listen to them, you get your ass beat. That sounds pretty crazy, man. It's not how. My favorite thing is every time somebody's like on the floor, they say they're resisting and they're just laying on the fucking floor and they're beating the shit out of them. So if I say they're resisting, that's my green card to beat the shit out of them. You know what I mean? No.
Yeah. A lot of people get the idea with police up as protect and serve. They think it means protect and serve the community. A lot of good what it's about, and they try and get in touch with the community they're in. But at the end of the day, it's protect and serve means protect the laws, serve the laws.
There you go.
to enforce the laws. You're not here. The cop's not going to walk down the street. Hey, morning, Mr. Anthony. How's it going?
Chilling.
He didn't give a fuck about you. His job is every day having to deal with. Well, I also kind of blame the media. Also blame a lot of the shit. There was a debate that we had in my class when I was in high school.
Yeah.
Police. They asked. One of the questions was, should police respect you? Mind you, they're a bunch of fucking adolescent teenagers whose main goal in life was to go home and Call of Duty or get drunk, snort coke or something stupid. But the number one thing that everybody was saying, yes, cops should. A lot of them was the cops should respect us when being. Cops should respect us like we own property, respect privacy. Blah, blah, blah. In reality, it's like, well, you're as a cop. I believe that it's hard because you have to deal with people who reject the police, even though they've never experienced anything. For like the most they've probably experienced is in a fucking movie or a song that just says "fuck." Like for instance, NWA was dealing. Their whole little thing was they were dealing with corrupt cops who were just beating the shit out of people because that was what they did back then.
Oh yeah.
There was like a different, right? But these kids praise and they look to it as, yeah, that's cool. Fuck police. Even though this person or this kid has probably never had a terrible encounter with a cop, probably never had a negative experience with a cop, police force, police ruling, anything like that, and yet that's fourth and automatic. Like, oh yeah, the police, they're a bad and they're terrible. But when the first thing that one of their friends gets shot, ran over, robbed, raped, stolen from, their house gets broken into, shit's on fire, who do they call?
Yeah, police.
You know what I mean? Like, who do they call? They don't call their fucking grandma. Like, that's so back. It's all about like what's cool. It's not about like getting to what's out there. So as a, yeah, I understand why someone like him probably won't respect someone like me or another teenager walking school, whatever.
Well, yeah, that goes back to, yes, it's a societal thing too. If you want the cops to change, you got to change society too. You know, fuck the police. Yeah, it's a cool song, but realistically, yeah, like
it's a negative thing.
Yeah.
Realistically, that song is cool, but it's not supposed to be. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it's an actual problem they were having, and it's not for entertainment. It's not, oh yeah, fuck the police because it's a cool thing to say or it's a cool thing to believe in. It's because they were actually going through hardship that thankfully a lot of us nowadays don't actually have to suffer from. Not saying that people don't still suffer from shit like that, but it's a lot less, especially when things like cell phones report. Even though a lot of reports from cell phones and stuff like that have made media have been chalked up to pinned against police officers. Really, really cool channel. The Donut Operators actually posted a whole lot of videos kind of breaking down shootings and body cam footage.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. I believe he was a cop. But anyway, just you learn a whole lot from stuff like that. I'm telling you, like just one look at something on this could be an entirely biased on a whole situation that has a lot more doors or a lot more steps digesting what exactly. So, to be honest, you're right. A society change if a police force, if our media, things like that are all about disrespecting women, doing drugs, fucking with police department, then I don't see the police. I don't see anything progressing in a good direction where we want it. Instead, is two angry forces, but black versus white or blue versus black or whatever fucking color you want to paint this picture. It comes down to race because it's the easiest thing to hide behind for someone who wants to take away your gun, to take away your police force, and make you more reliant on the government.
Yeah, that's my biggest issue. I just don't. It's like being around all these people and trying to tell them that the government's evil, and no one listens to you. It's like screaming in a box because everybody is so programmed to think in teams and thinking, well, if my guys are elected, they'll take care of us and, it'll stop the problems that we're getting. And it never works that way. And to me, I'm not talking about anarchy, obviously, because human beings are shitty. This is why we're having these conversations. This is why we have this platform. This is why aliens don't visit us, because human beings are fucking shittier they're the most shittiest animals that live in this fucking planet. And it baffles me in how people are so believe in their own view of the system. Like, our good friends on the left, if we pack it all with liberals, the House, the Senate, and, the presidency, everything's going to be fine. And that already happened, with the Obama administration, and nothing happened. And that makes you really mad, because it was all this whole thing about illegal immigrants, this, that. When you control the three branches, you controlled the two branches of government, basically, and you couldn't fucking get any kind of legal immigration reform passed. Why? Because it's not convenient for you. It's not election season. So that's what fucking bugs me, man. It's just the whole that people we got to stop really believing in these systems and believing that, our party is going to be the end all be all. You know what I mean? It's just fucking just stupid, man. Ugh. I need a drink.
I agree with what you're saying, but I also think that you should look to the fact that a lot of people like the Obama administration. Yes, but I don't think
does that matter.
Person should solely exactly like I don't think. Well, to a lot of people like to see someone who looks like them in their media. For instance, that's why it is about a black man being. I mean, I don't remember everyone tripping the fuck out over Static Shock. That was fucking dope. It had a shit ton of like really interesting subjects like racism and things like that. It touched on, and it didn't put everybody in a negative light or didn't play a biased role. And I think that was really cool. I love Static Shock. But with the whole Black Panther, got a lot of black people never even been to Africa, don't know anything about the different cultures that populate Africa. And a lot of motherfuckers think that Africa is a goddamn country, which is just kind of embarrassing.
But continent.
Nonetheless, I digress. A lot of people just want to see someone who looks like them when their entire life they've been told that they're being victimized. Nobody likes them. White people are bad and things like that. Eventually, kind of just, that's never happened to me, but I imagine that must suck. So every day, reminded that, Gomez, you better be careful. You're going out. You're gonna let your daughters go out. What if some cop pulls over and shoots them because of the color of their skin? What if they try and shoot you? What if, stuff like that? Like every day that is implanted because of how you're raised, that is something that is being told to, or that's something that's held to children. So they grow up with this mentality, and it's very unhealthy. It's a very unhealthy way of thinking. So now they look for everything to point out so they can show that they're being victimized.
Yeah, terrible. That's societal. Yeah.
But when you see a hero on TV and he's the same color skin as you are, that is something that's like amazing.
I wouldn't call him a hero.
Well, I mean, like Black Panther, for instance. That's why.
Okay, Black Panther, yeah. So Obama, no.
But when they seen someone on the ballot as someone who is the color of their skin, immediately you have the majority black people voting because they want to see progression. They want to see someone be put in office that looks like them because that's a black power move. That's the next step.
Oh God,
the big next. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
For them, that's the next step. And I don't necessarily believe it, but hearing from all of my black friends, that is exactly what it felt like. And they're still talked about to this day. Michelle Obama dropped a book 2 years ago. You know what I mean? Like a year or two ago, something like that.
Yeah.
And people bought the shit out of that book. You think they really knew who the fuck Michelle Obama was?
No, they
You
don't.
really think that they gave a shit about Michelle Obama before she was in office?
No.
No. But the fact that she's a black woman, has money, has been in power, was with her husband, that they look, oh, that's a strong, black, healthy black family. You know what I mean? They have something to lean on. Something that gives people like that, with that mentality, hope. Even though to me and you, that's just family.
Yeah. Well,
They just so happen to be black. They just so happen to be in power. You know what I mean? Like, to us, it's not that big. But to somebody else, that's like a big deal.
Yeah.
It's not healthy. It's not healthy.
It isn't. When the whole BLM movement was going hardcore, I actually left my palace and went around with the common folk, which is me. I went down and I was hanging out in Ontario, and I remember saw a lot of Black Lives Matters t-shirts and everything, and I wore my Gaddafi t-shirt. So I'm like, hey, someone's gonna stop me, and someone's gonna be like, oh yeah, that dude's done a lot for Africa. Not one fucking person said shit to me. Not one person even glanced at me, and I'm like, dude, and I'm gonna get crucified from conservative people saying this, and liberals don't know anything about anything. So I hate to be a dick, but it's true. Gaddafi did way more for Africa than Obama would ever have done. Way more. That man, he tried uniting Africa, tried making Africa its own union, just like the European Union, and he was killed for it. Reagan went after Gaddafi. Obama finished it. And it's just like, I understand. Gaddafi's the great example of one man's freedom fighters, one man's terrorist, because it's true. It's crazy. It's just how people don't know that, and they don't know. Obama was the one that did the Yemen thing was because of Obama. Syria, Libya, the ousting of Gaddafi, the amplification of combat operations in freaking Afghanistan for 14 months, and then complete de-escalation of it. That was all Obama. You know what I mean? The killing of brown people, starving all those kids to death in Yemen. That was Obama. And everybody forgets that, and then they give him this card because of to be honest, his race, and just liberals are in control, and it's not fair, man. That's really not. He was just as bad as Bush, and I wish people would just really question what they're told and really think about it, man. You know what I mean? I'm a firm believer, especially our society, our generation. You got to question everything, man. You can't take everything for face value because half of it's bullshit, anyways. You know what I mean?
That's you know what I think is funny. You brought that up. Is the president they bring is just a good person because of what's at. But at the end of the day, everybody who is in office, I would like to say, has America's. This is what I was talking about. This is something one of the soldiers about in doing it. He believed that a country, in particular, I think it was Chile, should just close all their border, just self-isolate, cut everybody out of it, and keep all the resources themselves. And he would like them to heal and blah, blah. But the thing is, America lives in luxury.
Yes.
America likes luxury. Even the poor people like luxury.
Yeah, they do.
Their newest iPhone. They're all kinds of, you know what I mean? Like, everybody loves luxury. So when you cut America out of the deal and resource that is fueling our luxury in our everyday life, America comes back. America will install a fucking puppet government just so we get the good deal, just so we get.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's where you have the CIA. Oh yeah.
He didn't see that. He didn't understand. Dude, America would fucking. If that was the case, we got cut out of a deal for fucking oil or fucking who knows phone part, whatever. America would fucking hook up a coup to go over there, throw whoever's ass is in office out of that building, and they would open up their doors and fuck. Next thing you know, they're best friends. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, yeah, that's what happened to Gaddafi. They got rid of him because he was going to trade in oil and in gold, African dinar, and that's why they got same thing with Saddam. I love this country, but I hate my government. I love the principles of this country, you know, freedom and everybody's created equal, but I hate the imperialistic ideas and the fact that we have to. Yeah, you're right. We have to ensure that our best interests are kept all over the world, and we have to play world police. And I get that it changed after World War II, and it was a must. But yeah, fuck that shit, man. It just at what cost and what price? You know, this country's so much in debt. That's another thing that scares me. Is just the debt that we're inheriting from our parents from bad politics. You know, look at the debt from you know, even Trump alone, man. What is it now? We had $6 trillion to the national deficit. And you know, his plan is another $2 trillion for his financial gain, you know, if he wins the presidency. And then Biden's is like $5 trillion. Where the fuck are you going to get that money from?
Yeah.
You know,
I mean,
oh God. Ah.
I mean, that's the thing, though, too. The general public, honestly doesn't care about
They
the
don't.
big picture on what happens in 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 10, 15, 20 years from. They don't really care about that. What they care about is, you know, like the shit they see on TV in the now. They want to see transgender on TV. See this. They want to see that. They want to see, you know, that's all they care about. So basically, politics is, I believe personally, that's why politics, everyday media, is just so you remember this is a good thing, or this is a bad thing. This is what progression looks like. This is what we need more of. And so it's not really about it's about entertainment that you can enjoy because it's good. And if you dislike it, you're bad.
Yeah, fuck that shit.
I mean, yeah, it's kind of shitty, but the general public doesn't care about the.
No, because you got all these luxuries. You're right. You nailed it earlier. You have all these luxuries that blind you from other things that are more pressing. But you have all this, you know, your iPhones, your nice fancy cars, your hip hop art, you know, your Cardi B's. Yeah, bitch. So yeah, I get it, man. But you're right. It's sad that no one cares about that your country's going around doing tyrannic things to other countries, or you're ousting somebody because they're trying to make their continent better. You know, that's I agree with you, man. It's fucking sad. This country should be a beacon for freedom and liberty, not a tyranny for anybody, you know, but the people that live in it and dwell in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, unfortunately, though, that's kind of the harsh reality we live in. Is that people believe that. All right, let's just take Bernie. He's a sweet old man. He has the youth of America in mind, and you know he's gonna be a good president around all the bullshit, and it's gonna be good, and that's what people want. People like, but he's there. There was a meme a while ago on around about him being called Cuck Sanders. I believe it was the first time that he ran for president. It was him, Hillary Clinton, and Trump. The first time he got booted off his own stage by a Black Lives Matter protest because he couldn't defend. He just bent over, left the stage in the middle of his rally, his speech, and they said, if you don't get off the stage, place it. If you don't let her speak, as a Black Lives Matter, if you don't let her speak, they're going to shut this down. And basically all they did was go up there and say, racism is bad. Stop being racist. And he just sat there. Eventually, I believe he left. So let me ask you this. Is that someone you want to put in office when a foreign nation starts punking us
No,
or trying to cut us out of a deal for something like that. So
no.
you know, oil prices skyrocket. Is your the next iPhone's a fucking hell shit. Like I think $1,000. What if it was 3,000? And it was the same shit because we're getting cut out of deals because shit like our money starts to plummet. That kind of hate to be a dick, but it kind of sounds like pre-World War II Germany is when they were just kind of getting bullied. I mean, history repeats itself. Yes, I'm sure we didn't have no fucking. Sure we didn't have Versailles holding us down and making us pay a bunch of fucking war effort warship back. But I think that it goes to show that if you have a weak leader in power, you either have arrogance, ignorance, in power, or you have nothing. The general public, or at least one side of the general public. Everyone's saying that Trump is completely brain dead and stupid. But I mean, yes, there might be a civil war between people and beliefs rather than anything, but that's not necessarily his fault. If we were invaded or we were losing a war or we were doing shit we weren't supposed to be doing and we were getting called out for it by other nations, like other nations have been, then I can totally see that we could have some. But now we go down to person in line. Now that might just be Biden, but he's a fucking senile dude. Him barely being able to string sentences together.
Well, I don't think Biden's supposed to serve all 4 terms. I don't trust anything the left does. I really think that they have him there as a puppet, and as soon as they can, they're going to have him step down, and Harris is going to take over for medical reasons. Watch.
That might just be it. I mean, that would make a lot more sense because Biden wouldn't even be able to fucking live. I'm not trying to be a dick, but I don't think he would live. I didn't think Bernie would either. Bernie had like a fucking, I think it was a stroke or a heart attack. Just fucking campaigning. He was just fucking campaigning. He wasn't doing anything crazy. That's why I think we should have younger people. But the way that our youth are now, like the average youth, average citizen, fucking dumb. They don't care about anything but entertainment,
Yeah.
hip hop, drugs, alcohol. That's all they care about. That's such a young, fucking bewildering. Like even some of the fools that come into the military. Like I remember sitting in AIT. I remember sitting in this office because I had to get some paperwork done before I went back to class. This fucking kid sitting there. I was like 7. He was sitting right next, staring up at the POW MIA flag that was sitting in our first sergeant's office, and he just looks at me. Hey, bro, what's a POW mean? I mean, I didn't think he should have been sitting in the seat next. In fact, I don't even think he should have been away from home. A lot of these people were just kind of like stupid. Really think about the next step. Think about what's take day by day. Nah, it's cool, but if you don't have the goals, how the fuck are you going to be able to be put in place of position of power? How the fuck do you do that? You don't even care. Care the fuck tomorrow. You join the military, you know what a POW or an MIA is. It's fucking terrible.
Yeah, it's like, Palmia, dog.
There's no faith. There's no faith in. Everyone's so fucking dumb. That's why all the old people are fucking running the country. Or do. Kind of America kind of runs itself. They just kind of like dictate laws. America practically runs itself. I think if kind of stayed in their own lane, if we didn't hear anything down from the mayor or any other, law enforcement, I think America would kind of run itself as it does today and tomorrow.
Yeah.
Everyone's used to a cycle of doing something. Now, crime would probably be law enforcement. But I do think that America is capable of running itself without too much interference.
Yeah.
elderly politics.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Don't.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's bullshit. Hey, check this out. Since you're such a fucking Windows guy, this piece of shit laptop's about to turn off. So this will conclude this podcast for tonight. But what do you want to do it Friday? Or you want to do it Saturday?
You do whenever.
Hey, Friday I'm gonna be at near the unit in a hotel. You want to come by, dude, and we'll do it there together?
Yeah, fuck it.
You know what I mean? Bow wow.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna get off the YouTube one because my computer's gonna die, but I'm gonna stay on the freaking Instagram shit, dude, because I kind of want to talk to you a little bit more. So let me